try to frustrate me. I'm holding on to his promises, 'cause this was meant to be. He loved me in my wrong, in sin and misery. I could have been cut off, but you still held me. It's in my hand. It's in my hand. Promises, promises. It's in my hand. This was meant.
Good afternoon and welcome to Healing Stream Waters Daily Dosage. To God be the glory. He's done great things, whereof I am glad. And the scripture that I'm going to be reading today comes from the 9th chapter of St. John. And actually, I'm going to just read one verse. And that is the 25th verse of the 9th chapter of St. John. He answered and said, whether he be a sinner or no. And the he that he's referring to in this verse is he talking about Jesus. I know not. One thing I know, that whereas I was blind, now I see. And the topic that I want to leave and encourage you with today is this one thing I do know. So why you say that? Well, in this chapter, there was a man, he was 40 years old, and he was blind from birth. And so Jesus was on the scene, and the people asked, because they thought that when you have certain ailments, illness, sickness, or whatever it is, they think it's because of sin, because you did something wrong. And a lot of people still hold today. They say, I know when I was going through some of my dark days, it was said to me that I got out of the ark of safety. It was something wrong that you did. It was because of sin. But Jesus, and they asked Jesus, who did sin that this man was born blind? Was it him? Was it his parents? They was trying to find the originator of this blindness. But sometimes we focus too much on the parents and on things that we don't see, and we can miss just what God is doing. Sometimes we are paralyzed because of analyzing. Sometimes, well, anybody can diagnose, but can you give a solution? The facts are the facts, but can you bring people out of it? Isaiah, I think it's around the 57th chapter, said, if you take away the pointing of the finger, he said, I will spring forth your health speedily. And sometimes our health is not recovered because we are off in areas nitpicking, pinpointing things that is not even in our jurisdiction. As with the woman caught in adultery, she did do what they said she did, but Jesus said, neither do I accuse you. Go thy way and don't sin no more. Where is truth coming in at? So they wanted to know who did sin that this boy was born blind. But Jesus said, look, I ain't come for all that. I must work the work of him who sent me while it is still day, because night cometh, no man can work. And as long as I'm in the world, I am the light of the world. He was steady working while they were steady talking. And I learned from that, even though the storms may be raging, as the songwriters say, and sometimes it's hard to tell the night from day, but the hope that lies within me reassure as I look upon the distant shore. I know he'll keep me in perfect peace. And you have to have the wherewithal. You have to have what it takes to stand in the midst of it. Because you know what? The storms ain't going to cease. The wind ain't going to stop blowing. The rain ain't going to stop coming down. But when your hope lies in Jesus, you can weather the storm. So while they were steady talking, he was still working. He spat on the ground. He made clay with a spittle, and he anointed the blind man's eyes and told him, go wash. It's the simple thing. Sometimes we think that our blessings are going to come from something mighty, big, but it's the little things. If we can follow directions in the little things, then we can get our healing. Just like with Naaman, he was just told, go wash 7 times, go dip in the water. That's all you got to do. The young girl told him, but Naaman went away angry. The young girl told him, if he had told you to do something big. So what is it? Do you want to be healed, or do you want a show? And a lot of times we want the cameras, the lights, the actions, a big explosion, the 4th of July, fireworks. But he's just telling us something simple. Go wash in the pool of Siloam. And they didn't question, they wasn't concerned that he received his sight. They just wondered who did it. Who was this man that healed you? They didn't even know who he was, so they couldn't tell. But somebody said he's not of God because you got healed on the Sabbath day. You ain't supposed to get healed on the Sabbath day. Come on, y'all. The man got healed. What's the day? What day? God didn't make man for the Sabbath. He made the Sabbath for man. So, and he is Lord over the Sabbath. Before the day was, he is. And so, instead of rejoicing because he was healed, they started nitpicking. Well, he not of God because he did it on the Sabbath. And then somebody say, well, how can he be a sinner? Can sinner do miracles? And it caused division. That's how unnecessary conversations can cause division. I know in the workplace, there are 2 topics they say don't bring to the workplace. That's religion and that's politics. Because everybody got their different views, and it'll stir up something that you will take your mind and your focus of while we at work. We're at work to work, not about politics and not about religion. They call his parents. They want to ask his parents, is this your son? Yes, it's my son. Was he born blind? How did he get his sight now? The parents told them, he's of age. He was 40 years old. Ask him. He can speak for himself. Paul said, I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. It comes a time when you can't make it on your mothers, your fathers, your grandmothers, the preachers. You can't make it on their testimony. their testimony can help you, but you can't stand in their testimony. You have to have your own. So they asked the man, they said, they called Jesus all kinds of names. But one thing the man said, whether he's a sinner or whether he's not, that don't even matter to me. What I do know, what I do know is that I was blind, but now I see. You can call on what you want. And sometimes we do that to people. We label people. There was a story of a man that was drowning and he asked Jesus to save him. And so he sent the sailboat. He sent the big boat. He sent another kind of life-saving raft. And he didn't accept it, none of it. And so he drowned. But then when he got to where he was going, he asked, he told Jesus, I prayed, but you didn't answer me. He said, Jesus told me, yes, I did. I sent 3 signs and you rejected them. So sometimes, because it don't come the way we think it should, we begin to label. But if you are praying for something to God about it, God can use whomever he wants. He used a dirty bird, a raven, to feed the prophet Elijah at the brook. It doesn't matter. When you ask God, you can't tell God how to work. Only thing that you should be worried about is that your prayer be answered. You want to type? It's going to come, even if it comes through spittle, even if it come from mud. You want your leprosy to be clean? Just go wash 7 times. That you hungry? It's the only thing, not person, but think around on this isolated island with you is just this dirty raven. Do I consider he's a dirty raven? He's a dirty bird. He eats off of scavengers. He eats off of dead and nasty things. But you ask, you needed to eat. It was nothing and nobody else around. Are you going to reject the food because of who hands it came through? No, people. God is God over everything. And he said in Genesis, everything I made was good. And so, don't worry about the details. You will never be able to fathom in your mind. Because while you are trying to figure it out, God already worked it out. The woman prayed that God sent her some bread. And so the devil brought the bread. And we don't want to acknowledge that your prayer is answered. It doesn't matter how it came. He answered your prayer. Thank God for answered prayers. God is a prayer hearer and an answering God. You just don't know the way it's coming. So whether you call somebody a sinner, whether you call somebody a false prophet, whatever you want to label them as, know this, that your prayer was answered, and give God the praise. One thing I don't know if he is a sinner, whether he is and whether he not. I don't know. Well, this one thing I do know. I was blind. I'm 40 years old, haven't seen a day in my life. And this one day, he spat on the ground, mixed it with mud, mixed it with the dirt. It became in his saliva, and he made a healing salve. What? The unorthodox way. Put on that man's eye and told him go wash it off, and he came back seeing. This one thing I do know, if I don't know nothing else, I know this. I was once blind, but now I see. Listen, God is your answer for everything. He's the creator. And if nobody can't do it, God can. And if he don't do it, it won't be done. People of God, go in peace. He loves you. I love you. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Nobody but you.